I'm now going to put the raddle onto the loom and separate out all the sections, the 1/2 inch bundles that I did before. So this little piece of equipment here is a raddle. This one's made out of wood, but you can easily put a piece of wood with those headless nails. I think they're called brads, and you can put those in and space them at 1/2 inch intervals. So this is going onto the loom underneath the warp. I have the middle marked. Let's just find where the middle is. There we go. And I now need to put a little bit of weight onto the warp so that I can separate out the bundles quite nicely. So round the other side, plastic milk bottles full of water, absolutely ideal. Actually half full of water. Lark's head knot. Onto the warp. There we go. A little bit of weight. It works really, really well. Just put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to separate out each of the sections, the individual sections, into their 1/2 inch bundles, and they're going to go into the different segments on the raddle. Now you can see here that I'm actually dividing up my groups and making them more or less parallel on the back. I'll just give myself a bit of space here. Sliding over, cheeky thing, so we're going to hold it in place quickly with the elastic bands. And you can see how the bundles here that I've done here, I mean, it's really easy to put them into my 1/2 inch blocks. So now we have the raddle nicely spacing the yarns, so I'll put the lid onto the raddle, just bear with me. Go, and I'll lock them in place. I would always rather be much more safe than sorry. And now we're going to beam. And beaming, it sounds great. I love the term beaming. Basically, all it is you're winding the warp onto the back beam. Hence the beaming. It's going onto the beam. So I am literally winding. Here's the handle. This particular loom wants to wind inwards, which always seems a little odd, but hey ho, it works. And I'm going to put in a little bit of cardboard. And I'm going to start that right now. It's here already. And this is just, well, it's not cardboard, it's paper card. It's quite thick paper, if you like. It's to separate out the layers of the warp. And now I have to keep coming backwards and forwards. And I want to wind it so it's a whole turn round before I do anything else, because that's made it secure. And now I want to make sure that all the yarns are working parallel and even tension. So I've grabbed the warp with one hand and I've given a sharp tug. Don't worry, you won't break them because you're holding them all as a group. So unless they're very, very, very insecure yarns, you won't have a problem. And then I'm going to put my weight back on and wind some more. And you can see how the raddle, excuse me while I stretch over, you can see how the raddle keeps it nice and even on the far end, as it goes over the back beam there. I'm just going to do this last little bit by holding the tension with my other arm while I turn the beam. And I'm going to stop it there. Right, come back round to the other side. Right in the middle of the loom here, you can see here's my cross. It's still safe, and I want to keep it safe, so I'm now going to put in what are called cross sticks. Always makes me smile because you're beaming and then you cross. Anyway, that's just me and my very silly sense of humour. And I'm going to pull on those 2 cords that I put in when I mentioned to you earlier that I was doing something that would make my life easier later. If I pull that cord down, it gives me one side of the cross. Right, okay. Both sides of the cross are secure. I don't know whether you can see that there. One side there and one side there. And I'm going to secure this to the loom. So those pink cords that stretch from the one side of the loom to the other, from front to back, are what I use to secure the cross. So it doesn't go anywhere, the cross sticks stay attached to the loom. And once I'm sure that that's secure, I can remove the cross tie here and remove the little loops there. And if I now come to the front of the loom and hold this, there you go. You can see that all my threads are in their threading order, all nice and neat. Neat on the back of the loom, neat in the cross, and I'm ready to start threading.